What's going on, guys? Welcome to MLB The Show 22. It's finally here. And with the new game comes new settings, the new everything, and we have some new things we have to try out. And my goal here for today is to teach you guys as much that I know to make you a better player. First off, we're going to go on our settings, and we're going to check all my settings that I currently have right now. It doesn't matter what you choose for hitting difficulty because it's mainly for offline play right now. Hitting view is also very important. There's two that I really do think is really beneficial for you. Strike zone high is one of them, and the other one would be strike zone. Personally, I still use strike zone high because I feel like really overwhelming sinker, cutters, and fastballs really come in a lot slower than it would be on strike zone. But if I'm ever struggling, I usually try to tend to switch between them and see how I do in both. In play view often, I would definitely recommend you to try dynamic, although medium is really good, and if you don't want to make any mistakes on a base path, I definitely recommend you choose medium. But to me, I really want a cool experience, so dynamic really shows off better, which is in my opinion really cool. Ball trail, I don't really put too much. I think I leave this on default every single year. And we're gonna go into hitting interface, and we're gonna be using zone. The other options are directional, which I definitely do recommend you use if you're a new hitter in the game to get used to timing and stuff like that. But for now, we're gonna be using zone. The input type is gonna be buttons. Analog has been used before, but I do really think that buttons will be the way to go right now. And since you chose buttons, you're not gonna need to worry about the flick. Now moving on to the new feature in MLB The Show 22, we're gonna go on to PCI Anchor. PCI Anchors is a hitting tool that you can use to set your PCI in a specific location, and there is 9 different ones. The anchor dots are the things that appear before the pitch is thrown, so you can get an idea of where you can locate the PCI. Now let's go over my PCI appearance. For the PCI center we have diamonds, and for the PCI inner we have wedge, and the outer we have nut. I've seen many people use this exact same thing, and honestly, it's for a good reason. I don't know why, just because it's more of an appearance thing that makes it weird, because I hit really good when I have these exact same hitting appearances. But you can move around with the transparency, because trying to see what's behind the PCI, which would be the angle of the arm, or however the pitcher is pitching it, would be really important too. Fade out really doesn't matter to me unless you have an outer and you want to really check it out. So before we go, what you want to do is also turn off vibration. Make sure that's off. And you also have to make sure hot zones is off. I definitely recommend that. Something that doesn't just need to be there at all. I think right now, if you want to become a better player than you currently are right now, something that's so important to me is heading into some practice and working on your hitting. I love to use players like Joey Gallo for his small PCI, because if you get better with your locations with a small PCI like Joey Gallo's, and all you do right now is just consistently hit on pitches that you can really rarely hit, basically. And if you keep doing it, you'll know you'll get better the more games you play. And now what we can look at next is the PCI anchor. So as you can see, there's 9 different locations around the strike zone, and you could choose whatever location that you would want it to be in. So if you left it up top left, it would stay up there. But personally, I would either go top middle or top bottom, because I feel really comfortable just getting to the ball there. But again, it's an absolute preference, and you should always try out things before you make a final decision on them. Something that really doesn't get talked about is lefty hitting, and how I feel that most people are very afraid of hitting lefty. Usually while I'm in any kind of game mode, if something becomes a lefty situation, I feel like the hitter always feels like they need to change him and get a righty in there because their uncomfortability with hitting lefty. So custom practice is just the perfect place to go to just work on yourself, lefty, and turn on pitches and make sure that you're the most comfortable you can be while hitting. Another great practice tool you can use while hitting lefty in custom practice is have sinkers set inside and sliders set outside. So when a slider comes out, you try your best to take it the other way, because I myself have really big issues taking pitches the other way. And there's nothing I'd like to do more than just going into custom practice and just taking pitches the other way. Once you're in game, there's no better feeling than just ripping something to the other side of the field, especially with a pull hitter like Joey Gallo. And never forget to always get your righty cuts in as well, so you always feel comfortable with both sides of the plate. Because the most important thing that we need to talk about hitting and hitting tips is just how comfortable you are while up at bat, and having a safe approach and making sure that you know that you're gonna own that at bat. What I also want to get into is the way I hold my controller and the way I hold my stick while hitting. So what I think is really important while hitting is just to keep a nice firm grip on your controller, so you have control, and it definitely makes the grip on your controller way better. I feel that control you gain from actually gripping your controller with intent. I also would recommend some control freaks for some new people. You could always use some codes from creators and pick up a pair of control freaks whenever you need, because they definitely do improve some hitting, but currently I'm just not using it because I'm just trying out a new thing. And it's super important just to know that if something doesn't work out, just to try something else. I do have a little collection of control freaks around here. The last thing I wanted to get into is the difference between a TV and a monitor. Some TVs have really high response time, and I do feel like people mostly use TVs at this age while playing Movie the Show. And I think the difference between a TV and a monitor is actually insane, and it's what's keeping you from probably being a really good player. But that's gonna wrap it up for us today. If you got into this part of the video, I appreciate you so much for sticking by and watching this video. I'm gonna be releasing some more tips really soon, such as pitching tips, how to make World Series, and how to go 12-0. I do think I've really improved in the last couple of months, and I'm really excited to see if these tips have worked on you. So if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, left a like, and left a comment to see if you have any questions, or just to let me know how the video went. But again, I appreciate it. Have a good one.